Hey.
Stop producing nonsense.
Okay, I'm come for it. Let's try this again. Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty and the Frizz. My name is Kara. Whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I'm excited. Today is Mimosas and Makeup, and I believe this is number 60. 60 Mimosas and Makeups. And we're celebrating with none other than Mama Pat and the Bridgerton collab palette. So if you want to see the swatches, hear about the palette, about Bridgerton, I'm not gonna spoil it. I don't do that. And see a look and see some comparisons. Keep watching this video. Let me know what you think. And if makeup is your therapy and your love, if you're like me and you're in makeup rehab, trying to make a makeup turnaround, trying to have some mindful makeup choices, this is the channel for you. Definitely consider joining this community because we would love to have you back. All right, let's get started. Yes. I don't even think I had to edit that, y'all. Yes. So this was supposed to be here on Friday. It came today, Saturday morning. So I'm filming this because I wanted to have it up, y'all. Now, Pat McGrath released this collection with Bridgerton, this collab on December 26th. This was kind of like a surprise collab. I did not expect this at all. It makes sense, but I didn't expect it. Also didn't expect the color story, but that's neither here nor there. Actually, I did, but I didn't. That makes sense? Probably not. Now, before I get into the details of the collection, for those who don't know, Bridgerton is a series on Netflix. It is a Shondaland production. Shonda Rhimes, I know her from Scandal with Kerry Washington, which was really good. And Bridgerton was always on my to watch list. And it's really hard for me to watch shows that I have to pay attention to because I have a short attention span and I have my two boys. So I just didn't get into it. But whenever the collection was teased, I ended up just finding some time to watch it. Eventually I got through it and I'm so glad I did. For those who haven't seen the show, it takes place in the Regency era in London. The Regency era was like the early 1800s, and the show is set in a high society. What I really liked about this show that really made it stand out for me is that race wasn't an issue. And I believe, and I'm not sure because I'm not the history buff, but that the high society in London at that time did not consist of people of color. So to see that, I really loved that. They were, oh no, God. Let me see if she's okay. She's okay. There were just different races in all of the positions in Bridgerton. And I just thought that was really cool. I thought it was different. And I think that for people watching it, it's just nice to see yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. It is about finding love. So if that's your thing, I think you would enjoy it. Let me know if you liked Bridgerton. And I do believe that this show is based on books. Hello. Too many because it's a Christmas present for me from Auntie Ari. It's a vest.
But Mama, or my Christmas gift?
Excuse me?
The two last ones. The two last Christmas gifts.
From me?
No, from Auntie Ari.
They're probably out there somewhere, but I need to do this for tomorrow. Can you close my door? I love you. You can come in if you need something, like if you like for real. I'm not gonna get into it about August today and his foolery. So she teased a collection. It was quickly revealed. In my mind, it was quickly revealed. And the collection consisted of a 6-pan palette and 2 highlighters. The only thing I purchased is the palette. I wanted to get the Icy highlighter too because I was like, oh, I shouldn't just get one thing. And I'm like, no, girl. You can just get one thing. You don't need an entire collection. I wasn't gonna get that trophy wife highlighter. I just got the Crowns highlighter that came out during the holiday on her Instagram shop. It was $36. I got 25% off. We need no more highlighter. I was not doing it. I'm proud, okay? So this is all I've got. I hope you're down to see the swatches and the look, because that's what I'm gonna do. Let's go ahead and get into this palette. I also wanted to say that the last time I believe Pat McGrath released a 6-pan palette was after the release of Divine Rose 2. She then released Rose Decadence, which we did not need. but it is a nice 6-pan, like for someone who didn't get Divine Rose 2. But here is what the outer packaging looks like. And you see Pat McGrath X Bridgerton. You've got the Pat McGrath logos indented here down at the bottom, and these purple roses. I also didn't mention that the name of the palette is Diamond of the First Water, and I believe that refers to Daphne, which is our main character, and she's from the Bridgerton family. So the palette has very simple open and close packaging. Rose Decadence also had that, but some of my earlier Pat McGrath palettes that I have this like little envelope kind of style and have the like 2-fold opening situation. Some people like that, some people don't. Now let's get into the inside, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. You're gonna be like, So here is the inside of the palette, and we do see that it is pink heavy. We do have a blue shade, but other than that, it is a pretty pink heavy palette, pink and mauve type shades. Now the one thing that I noticed right away is that there's no lacquer here. It's cardboard. And I'm like, did she trade out the lacquer for the cardboard because we have an astral shade here, this blue one? Like, I hope not, because like, I don't know. So this one has the lacquer, and I'll probably get into this more in my final thoughts, but I really liked how Celestial Odyssey, which was her big holiday palette, had that lacquer and more luxurious feel in the inside, because the 2020 palette, Celestial Divinity, had the cardboard. And this year's palette, I just think, gave a more luxury experience to people who usually don't buy Pat McGrath. So I kind of didn't like that she has the cardboard in here. I know the cardboard is probably better, you know, it's less waste, but I'm just saying, like, it's just something I noticed right away. We'll save the rest of that until the end, but let's go ahead and get into the shade names and the swatches. We have Iconic Ingenue, Art of the Swoon, Regency Blue, Plum Regalia, give that another pass, Duchess Divinity. Ooh, now I like this one right here. That's really pretty. And Love Match. So here are the shades in the palette. Okay, so I did leave out a couple of things. So let me backtrack a little bit. The collection did come with 2 highlighters, but it also came with a blush palette. Now that blush palette had 2 blush shades, and they were existing shades. They were the shades Nymphette and Cherish, and actually those are 2 that I sold. So I knew that I was not going to repurchase that. And I believe that the highlighter in the palette is Lunar Nude, and I believe you can only get that in the palette. So I want to go ahead and get into a look with this palette and then get into the comparisons. So as far as what I'm wearing on my face, I am wearing the Pat McGrath foundation and concealer. I have on a cream bronzer by Fenty Beauty. It's in the shade Honey Glaze. And I used a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Powder to just set my under eye. So let me get my ears on and we will get into this look. And for primer, I'm wearing the Glam Light Icing Primer in Classic Vanilla. All right, I want to first take one of these shades and use it as a blush. Now, this one does say it's an eyeshadow palette and not an artistry palette, but we can still use things the way that we want to. Now, the only true matte shade in this palette is this Plum Regalia shade. The other 2 shades, give me a high five, come on now. That's awesome. These other 2 are like a satin matte. So I think I could use that for a blush. Now, if you don't like satiny blushes, then, you know, don't. But I'm going to go ahead. And I think I'm going to go with the shade Art of the Swoon. And we're going to go ahead and tap this in. And then we'll get into the eye look. So you can see there's definitely some sheen there. So that's really pretty as a blush, Because y'all know we have to make these products work for us, you know? Like, I have more than enough pinks from Mama Pat, so whatever way I can use these is what I need to do. So I think as a blush, this looks really pretty. I think the satin finish of, okay, why do my lips look crusty? Like, oh no, this is unacceptable. I'm sorry y'all had to deal with these crusty lips. I feel like it's the sangria settling into the cracks. That's a mess. Oh well, we'll cover it up. I think if you like a satin blush or a shimmer blush, or you like blush toppers, this is a nice shade, but it's not too like shimmery and shiny. And the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the iconic Ingenue shade and use that as a highlighter. So let's just go ahead and add this. Well, that's pretty. She could have given us the lacquer, the black lacquer. I'm sorry, just want to say that. Okay, let's get into what we're waiting for, which is the eye look. I'm only doing one look. My plan is to use all 6 shades. That's the plan. I am going to start with a Rephr 15 into the same shade that I used for the blush, which is Art of the Swoon. Oh, I like how it says flawless, my dear. That was what the queen said in the first episode. That's not spoiling anything, but she did use that term. I'm gonna take this on the Rephr 15 and just go ahead and start in the outer corner. And this is gonna be the transition here. I don't know why this looks darker to me. I'm gonna bring this up pretty high because this is most likely going to be covered up by the deeper pink that I'm gonna use next. Honestly, I feel like on the eye, this looks a little bit deeper, right? Which is fine, I'm just saying. I'm just gonna blow it out here a little bit today. A little extra, you know, a little extra something. I'm gonna also take this shade and put it under the lower lash line as well. I'm dragging it down a bit today. Now, as far as the quality of this shade, I really like it. I like that it has a little bit of sheen to it, and I like that I was able to use this as a blush as well. So that's a cool shade. I'm gonna go in with this Blends Bunnies B1 brush just to get some more detail in the crease, and we're gonna go into the shade Love Match. Now, I think I'm gonna try to do a bit of a halo eye, maybe. I'm gonna just put this on the inner and outer corners. Now, I know right now I look a little bit, you know, maybe a little bit under the weather, but it is gonna come together in the end. Just trust me. You can see that the look is getting deeper. So this is what we have so far. I think when I zoom in, sometimes it looks a little darker, but I really like how this looks. It's just kind of blown out like pink smoky. I don't have that intensifies pen that she released, but I do have some Mehron mixing medium, and I want to use that for the astral shade because that shade, this is a bit light. It's a bit more of a toppery shade. So I'm gonna take a brush that's gonna be better for shimmers. It's not like a really flat packing brush, but this is gonna be good for the astral shade, I think. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go into Regency Blue, and I'm gonna go into it pretty heavy with the brush, and then I'm gonna spray it. I do wanna see what this looks like on the eye alone. So let's just see. That's very pretty. And I really do think that the Mehron mixing medium helps this shade to pop on the eye. I'm just gonna leave it in the center of the lid, and I'm gonna go over it one more time. I am getting a little bit of fallout. So that's what we have so far. All right, so here's what we have so far. So we've used 3 shades in the palette. I'm going to go into Duchess Divinity, which I think might be my favorite shade in the palette. It's this one right here. I think this is like the best shimmer in the palette. So for those of you who are newer to my channel, when it comes to Pat McGrath, my favorite thing that she does is the metallic shades. It's not the Astrals, it's not the Blitzes. I do like the VR shades, though I do think those are nice. But my favorites are the metallics. And this, it's just a very rich shade. It's the richest of all the swatches. Like, this is beautiful. I love this shade so much. And I'm gonna take that and let's see if we can.
I'm sorry.
Sorry for what?
I want to play 2K2 with Marky.
Right.
But look, I cannot. I want to get a download.
How can, it says there's not enough free space to download the data. The game is in the black case. Go, you know where the black case is? Please know where the black case is. I hope so. I'm using Duchess Divinity to merge the blue into the pink matte.
Today, can we try the Justice Dance?
The Justice Dance? Oh, Just Dance? Let's do that tomorrow. That'll be fun. We could do that on the TV before football. The Justice Dance. I thought you would talk about Orange Justice. You know, from Fortnite, they be like, wait, you know, if anybody would do Fortnite and the Orange Justice, he'd be like, okay, moving on. This is just neither here nor there. I'm gonna use the same, well, let me show y'all what it looks like, hold on. So you can kind of see the Duchess Divinity shade kind of going into the pink. It's just like a nice little merger. You know, this palette reminds me of a baby shower. It's like, is it a boy or is it a girl? I think this is a girl. Let's go into Plum Regalia and let's smoke out the lower lash line just a little bit. Make it a little deeper. This really does remind me of a baby shower. I'm sorry to say it, but it does. Same thing on the other side. I brought, what was the first shade I used? Art of the Swoon. I brought that down a bit low, so the Plum Regalia is on top of it, but it's not covering it up. As you can still see, Art of the Swoon is still visible, so I like that. Now the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to take Iconic Ingenue, which is the one shade we have not used, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that as the inner corner. Wait. I haven't said that in a while. All right, let me back up because I feel like I look real dark. So we did the blush, we did everything. I do need to, let me come back in a little bit so y'all can see the whole thing. Let me know what y'all think about this look, y'all. Yes, sweet child. Oh, I saw that, and for some reason, I think it's upstairs on Marky's bed. Photographic memory. I think I want to go with something a bit plummy. This calls for one of my favorite liners. Here it is. Let's use Love Drug by Urban Decay. This is one of my absolute favorite liners. So y'all let me know if y'all got this palette. Let me know what y'all think. Did y'all get it? Did you skip it? So you can see it just gives you just a little more of a deeper lash line. And I like that. I do. Oh, somebody about to be sad. Somebody is sad. Here they come. Both of y'all come here.
I can't.
You can. Oh, this is sad. Whoa, wait a minute. Why do you sound like you're being electrocuted? Come here, Marky. No dessert train for you.
I want to get off of me.
Come here. You're on the dessert train. You are.
Mama,
Yes.
I'm trying to find the blue remote.
Okay, but I want to know why he sounds like that.
Because I want the way I was trying to find the blue remote.
I think it's upstairs, and I told you. Because I'm not doing it with them. I'm gonna do my mascara off camera. I pulled out 2 of the Divinyl lip shines. I have Flush 7 and I also have Divine Rose 2. So this is Flush 7 and then Divine Rose 2. I think I want to go with Divine Rose 2. I need to use this one more often. I love these things.
Hello, Mommy.
Hello. Did y'all solve the problem? Did y'all find a remote? Yes. Oh, okay. Don't y'all feel, okay, makeup therapy. I really feel like kids these days, they really lack coping and problem solving skills. And I'm really trying to help the boys. That's why I can't be jumping up every time there's something wrong. Like, y'all can work this out. Because kids that can't problem solve turn into adults that can't problem solve. And I can't be a part of that. I can't be a part of that movement. And I'm not. It's not for me. Oh yes, okay, now that I got the ears off. Okay, blown out. Oh. Let me go get this mascara. I'll be right back. I'm gonna use this Dark Star. Dark Star might be on its way out. It might just be dark. It's not even a star anymore. I feel like I've had it for way more than 6 months. So I probably should do the right thing and put it with my empties. All right, let me go get that and I'll be back. Oh, and I'm gonna bring some more palettes over because we gotta talk. I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so I am back and I put my mascara on. So here is the final look. I do think that it is beautiful. There we go. I like the lip balm with it. I think it's cool. So Pat McGrath doesn't really give us a lot of blues. So the first thing that I wanted to show you guys were some of the other blues that I have in my Pat McGrath arsenal. In this one we had Regency Blue. And again, this was a astral shade. These shades can stand alone, but I do feel like it's more of a topper. The first palette I'm grabbing is the Mothership 4, which is Decadence. Here comes a cat. I hear a child. What's up, sweet child?
It makes worse.
They lost?
It makes worse.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
People saw that. They saw that.
I wish that game.
You lost the game, but you win some, you lose some. You're being a spoiled sport. Now he's looking at, I'm letting y'all know, he's looking at himself in the mirror. Because I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at the shade Underworld, which is this very deep navy blue. Ooh, and this is a satin matte as well. I feel angry for you. No, I'm not comparing these, I'm just saying, I'm just showing you all the blues. So we've got that. We also have Problem Solve. You have to be a problem solver. Look at this color. It's your favorite color.
No.
Lapis Luxury. I'm sorry. So sorry. Oh, he left the game in here. Y'all may hear the game in the background. Oh, now see, look at that. See, I really need her to come out with another palette with this formulation because this doesn't do it for me. That does it for me. I'm gonna go into Dark Star, and in Dark Star she has the shade, I think it's Interstellar. I believe it is. It's this one right here. This is kind of like a blue purple. So we have that. Very nice. Ooh, you know what? I need to put this in the rotation. Going into Nocturnal Nirvana. I don't have the card for this. I don't know where it is. But we have this shade here. And I think these are astrals. So wait, hold on. You came in here, acted like that, and now you want a starburst?
Yes.
Do you think you deserve it? That's really pretty. I didn't ask you to drop it on the floor.
Yes.
That's gorgeous.
Yes. Yes.
You deserve it?
No.
Oh, okay. I just want to, let's just be real here.
I'm deserving.
You do?
Yes.
You were doing a nice job, being nice?
Yes.
Hope your stomach doesn't get upset. Hope your stomach doesn't get upset.
Can I take it as a 2?
I don't know. This is Deep Space Divinity. I'm ignoring y'all. And we have the shade Alien Moon. I heard what you said, and I'm sorry that there was. I'm gonna tell you what y'all not gonna do. Slow my video up. Look at that dual chrome right there. So pretty. I should have swatched this one better. Now we also have a very similar blue in Interstellar Icon, which is the shade Hypnotique, which is this shade right here. And that's funny because, you know, I personally wasn't getting Deep Space Divinity because I was like, the blues are the same, but they're actually very, very different in case anybody was wondering. Pulling out Celestial Odyssey next. I want to look at Nirvana. So that's Nirvana here. That's gorgeous. These two are kind of similar, but this is a metallic, like a true metallic. Oh, I can't. And last but not least, for the blues, I'm pulling out Mothership 1 Subliminal. And we're gonna look at Blitz Blue, honey. Come on, Patricia. So these are all the blues I have by Pat McGrath. I mean, this definitely isn't a repeat shade. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, let me see. I wanna pull out the Utopian Scheme really fast to see about, now I know there's the purple in here, but I think this is an Astral, right? The Astral shade, yeah, so it's kind of like, you know, these Astral shades, but they're just not my favorite. And I hate to say it, I like this purple shade better than this blue Astral shade. What is this world coming to? Pat McGrath does have a ton of pinks, and these pinks, I'm not gonna swatch all of her pinks because we really would be here for a long time. But I was just looking at those real vibrant ones. So we have Art of the Swoon. I done rubbed the whole B off. The whole B is gone. Trying to get some extra pigment. That's a mess. The B is gone. Art of the Swoon and Love Match. I'm glad I took pictures of this. So these are the two from the palette. See if there's anything here that resembles. I was gonna look at Shockwave, which is this shade right here. I think this is kind of like a different tone. It's kind of like a peachy pink. La Vie en Rose. There's this shade Rose Risque. These are a different formula. I feel like this one might be drying out a little bit, but that's Rose Risque. And then you got the quad Risque Rose, and the shade in this one is what, Rose Rebellion, I believe. And I think this is like a cream. Actually, this quad is really nice with this lavendering. Lavendering makes this one though. Look at, you know what? I can't do it. But we got, actually, that's actually nice. This is like a cream pink shade. But real quick, y'all, real quick. She should have just went ahead and did the blue like this lavendering shade. Let me swatch it real fast. I know this is not what y'all asked for, but I just have to give it because lavendering is so pretty, and I have to gloss the lavendering gloss. Now this purple, you know, to me, it's just, I think it's just nicer than this glittery top. Like, to me, it's just a glittery topper, and I like whatever formula this one is, and the Fire Rose Opal, I think is what it's called, in the Voyeuristic Vixen. That formula is fantastic. I love that. All right, let's put, what did I call this? Rose Risque, because Risque Rose, because the other shade was Rose Risque. Let's pull out Rose Decadence and see if there's any vibrant pinks. No, not in this one. And we do have some shades. Now, I'm not even gonna go into the Plum Regalia shade because that mauve-y, like matte, she has a zillion times over. I just wanted to look at these vibrant pinks. Now let's look at Divine Rose 2. We have Rose Seduction. So that's this one here. This is another one that feels kind of creamy. So see, they're just so, like, the differences are so slight, but I'm getting like more pigment out of these, my older shades, like, than these two new ones. And again, different formulas, and they perform well on the eye. So I don't really care like that the swatch is not as whatever. So there are just some pinks and some comparisons here. These three shades we see in her palettes. Like, I will be pulling out almost every palette, almost every mothership. So I'm not even gonna do all that. Let's get into the final thoughts. I'm gonna fix my door real quick because y'all know I do not like my door to be half open, half closed. I also wanted to let you know I am getting rid of the Christmas tree. Well, it'll be today when y'all see the video. So today the Christmas tree is going, but it has been my favorite Christmas tree, but it is dry. Honey, trying to get that Christmas tree out the door is about to be a hot mess. Okay, so now I'm gonna give y'all my final thoughts about this palette. So I'll have to first admit that I consider myself to be a collector of the Pat McGrath palettes. I have all of her palettes except for Eternal Eden, which I still cannot bring myself to buy because it's so pink. I just can't bring myself to get that quad, and I just don't want it. I became like really obsessive about her and got pretty much everything. This palette to me just really does not measure up to a lot of the other Pat McGrath palettes that I have. I think that if you like Bridgerton and that's like your show, I could see wanting to have this palette as a part of your collection, you know what I mean? But if Bridgerton doesn't mean much to you and the color story doesn't stand out to you, then I would say that you don't need to grab it on the restock. And I'm saying that like with love, you know what I mean? Because these palettes are like $65. Now, performance-wise, A+. Like, I really don't have an issue with anything that I have by Pat McGrath. So at this point, because I have so much, it's, do I like the color story? Because I automatically know that the quality is gonna be top notch. I only did one look with this palette because I don't see a lot of variety here. It's like either you're gonna use the blue or you're not. I also really don't like this cardboard in here. It's just that it's so expensive, you guys. Like, and I'm used to having the lacquer in there, so I'm just not sure why. The other thing I wanted to mention, and I was thinking about this and forgot to say it, these pan sizes are smaller. Now, I'm not someone who goes over like the weight and grams or anything like that. I'm just saying visually.
Look, I'm soon in the morning.
You tired?
Yes.
Give me a kiss.
Look, I know to come out.
He's so sweet. He be putting himself to bed now, y'all. August need to get on that train, but he's not on it yet. So you can see this quad right here, Deep Space Divinity, the pan sizes are smaller. So I think the price of this quad was about $4 or $5 less than this quad. So the previous quads you can see are bigger. Now let's look at Bridgerton and Dark Star. So you can see that these pan sizes are smaller. And I think the price was still $65 for both of these palettes. And this palette is just way better quality as far as the construction of it, like just having the lacquer in the inside. I'm not like all hell bent on the lacquer, but I'm just saying these are the differences that I noticed. I knew these pan sizes were smaller. I'm glad I thought about that to compare it. And I hate, y'all know, like if you know me, you know I really enjoy Pat McGrath. Again, I enjoy her metallic. I enjoy her vision. I enjoy the artistry. I have taken the master classes that she has done, like on, I guess it's on Zoom or whatever. I've done like 2 or 3 of those. Like whenever she has them, I love how excited she is about her makeup. I love how excited her artists are about applying the makeup. You know what I mean? I love all of that. I love all of it. But this palette, this is a little bit disappointing. Now, don't get me wrong. I really do love this look. I think it's beautiful. I could create this look from other palettes that she has. Maybe not with the exact same blue, but with another astral shade that she has. If I didn't want to use the blue shade in here, there are a plethora of other Pat McGrath palettes that I could use to create this kind of look, this kind of smoky, pinky eye look without the blue shade. I would grab Voyeuristic Vixen. I would grab the Bronze Borealis. I would grab Divine Rose too. You know what I mean? I could grab a lot of other things.
I'm sorry, Mama. I ask you one question. May I have a charger?
So that's looking at it from somebody that has a lot of Pat McGrath or a lot of colorful makeup. Now, I think I said it, if you don't have a lot of Pat McGrath and you love this blue pink color story, I say just, you know, I think it would be worth it. But I just think she has so many other things.
Never I should do a style water.
You're the number 1 styling writer?
Can I'm sorry, Mom. I'll leave.
You don't have to leave. I'm just asking you to go ahead.
I'm messing with your video.
You said what? You're not messing my video up. You never mess it up.
I thought we're going to watch a movie.
As soon as I'm done this, which could be in 5 minutes. People want to watch movies, but they don't want to let me do what I need to do. My thoughts are probably really all mixed up. I just want some exciting color stories. I just don't recall seeing a lot of pink in the show. I honestly recall seeing with the other like rival family, the Featheringtons, they wore a lot of yellow and a lot of green. So maybe the yellow was in that highlighter, I'm not sure. I do see the reason for the light blue, like Daphne wore like that light pastel, that light baby blue color. So I see that. I could see one pink because it was about love, but I think with this and the Utopian Dream palette, the inspiration is not matching like the color story. And that is the hardest thing for me to understand. Let me know what you all think about the palette. I'm going to be a bit more critical this year of makeup releases. I'm going to be harder and more judgy on how I feel about them because I am trying to make some changes. And I'm a Pat McGrath stan, so it never feels good. Like I'm like, oh my God, am I burning a bridge? There is no bridge. There's no bridge. You know, I'm just being honest with my feelings. You all know I'm never ever telling someone to get something or to not get something. I'm never saying any of that at all. I just want to give like real thoughts about the things that I'm using so that we can all make good decisions for what we want. I have not watched any reviews of this palette at all because I just wanted the thoughts to be my own. I just didn't want anybody else's thoughts to kind of cloud my own. I still look forward to every single release that Pat McGrath comes out with. I still enjoy the suspense and the excitement and the sequins and everything. And I do hope that one day she's gonna give all of us what we want. And she made us wait for blush. She's gonna make us wait. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for taking out some of your time and hanging out with me today. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video because I really love talking about Pat McGrath. I love comparing shades. I love the fact that I do own these eyeshadow palettes and can compare them. I'm proud of this collection because a lot of the palettes that I have are discontinued and I purchased them after they were discontinued. So it took a lot of time and effort and searching to find them. So I am going to be pulling out my Pat McGrath palettes and I'm happy to say I'm going to be using them. You know what I mean? So anyway, I hope this was therapy for you. It always is for me. And until I see you again, make sure you are being gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself nice. Stay safe. And I just also want to say thank you so much for all of the feedback that you all have been giving me on my recent videos because I know that my channel is taking a little bit of a different turn, but it feels really good and it feels really freeing. So I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.